Welcome to IT Master, your go-to channel for modern web development. SVG animations, JavaScript, real-time data visualization, and AI-powered coding tutorials. Here, we focus on practical skills you can use in real-world projects. Crafting dynamic data visualizations with SVG, GSAP, and Live API feeds. In this lesson, we're moving beyond static charts and outdated visuals. Today, you'll learn how to build dynamic, real-time data visualizations using SVG, GSAP animations, and Live API data feeds. By the end of this tutorial, you'll understand how to fetch live data, convert it into scalable SVG graphics, and animate it smoothly to create engaging, professional dashboards. This technique is commonly used in analytics platforms, SaaS dashboards, and modern web applications. Let's get started. Section 1. Why dynamic data visualizations matter. Static charts show data at one moment in time. Once the data changes, those charts become outdated. Dynamic visualizations solve this problem by updating automatically, allowing users to see trends as they happen. In today's data-driven world, real-time visuals are essential for dashboards, monitoring systems, and decision-making tools. Section 2. Why SVG and GSAP work so well together. SVG, Scalable Vector Graphics. SVG allows us to create graphics that scale perfectly on any screen size. Each shape inside an SVG can be controlled individually, which makes it ideal for charts and data visualization. GSAP, GreenSock Animation Platform. GSAP is a powerful JavaScript animation library, known for smooth performance and precise control. When combined with SVG, GSAP allows us to animate data in a way that feels natural, responsive, and professional. Section 3. Fetching live data from an API. The first step is connecting our visualization to live data. We do this by fetching data from an API. Now let's look at this JavaScript function. The function is declared using the async keyword, which means it is designed to work with asynchronous operations. Even though no API call is used here, the function still returns a promise. The function name is fetchData. Its job is to provide data. Inside the function, we directly return an array of numbers, 50, 90, 120, and 70. Because the function is marked as asynchronous, JavaScript automatically wraps this array inside a resolved promise. This type of function is often used for testing, demos, or when simulating data before connecting to a real API. In short, this function returns sample data in an asynchronous way, ready to be used by other parts of the program. This function requests data from an external source and returns it in a format we can use for visualization. Let's understand this SVG code step by step. We start with the SVG tag, which is used to create scalable vector graphics in the browser. The width is set to 500 and the height is set to 250. This defines the visible size of the SVG on the screen. The viewbox attribute defines the internal coordinate system. It starts from 0 on both the X and Y axis and extends to 500 on the X axis and 250 on the Y axis. Inside the SVG, we have a G element. The G stands for group, which allows us to organize multiple SVG elements together. The group has an ID called bars. This ID is usually used by JavaScript or CSS to dynamically add or style shapes such as rectangles or bars. In summary, this SVG creates an empty drawing area, and the group element acts as a container where graphics can be added later. Now let's understand the renderBars function. This function takes one parameter called data, which is an array of numbers. Each number represents the height of a bar in the chart. First, we select the SVG group element using its ID, bars. This group acts as a container for all the bar elements. Then we clear any existing bars by setting inner HTML to an empty string. This ensures that the chart does not duplicate bars when it is updated. Next, we loop through the data array using for each. For each value, we also get its index. Inside the loop, we create a new SVG rect element. Because SVG elements belong to a different namespace, we use createElementNS instead of createElement. We then set the X position of each bar using the index, so that the bars are evenly spaced horizontally. The Y position is calculated by subtracting the value from 200. This is done because in SVG, the Y-axis starts from the top and increases downward. The width of each bar is set to 40, and the height is set equal to the data value. We also apply a blue fill color to make the bars visually clear. Finally, each bar is added to the SVG group. In summary, this function dynamically converts numeric data into a clean and responsive SVG bar chart. Section 5, Animating the data with GSAP. Now let's look at this script tag. This line is used to load GSAP, which stands for GreenSock Animation Platform. GSAP is a powerful JavaScript library used to create smooth and high-performance animations. The src attribute points to an online CDN called UNP. This allows us to use GSAP directly in our project without downloading any files. The version loaded here is GSAP 3, which is the latest major version and widely used for modern web animations. Once this script is loaded, we can use the SAP object in our JavaScript code to animate elements, including SVG shapes, with very smooth transitions. In simple terms, this line enables professional-level animations in our web project. Now let's understand the animate bars function. This function is responsible for animating the SVG bars using GSAP. Inside the function, we use sap.from. This method tells GSAP to animate elements from a starting state to their current state. The selector #bars_rect targets all rectangle elements inside the SVG group with the ID bars. In simple words, it selects all the bars in the chart. The animation starts with the height set to 0, which makes the bars invisible at first. The Y position is set to 200, so the bars appear to grow upward from the bottom of the chart. The duration of the animation is 1 second, giving a smooth visual effect. The stagger property adds a small delay between each bar, so they animate one after another instead of all at once. Finally, the ease option is set to power 3.out, which creates a natural and smooth ending motion. In summary, this function adds a clean, professional animation that brings the SVG bar chart to life. GSAP animates each bar smoothly from the bottom, making data changes easy to understand visually. Section 6, Real-Time Updates. Now let's understand the update chart function, which connects everything together. This function is declared as asynchronous, because it waits for data to be loaded. First, we call the fetchData function using the await keyword. This allows the program to pause until the data is ready. The returned data is stored in the variable called data. Next, we pass this data to the renderBars function. This function converts the numeric values into visible SVG bars. After the bars are rendered, we call animateBars to apply smooth GSAP animations to the chart. Below the function, updateChart, is called once to display the chart when the page loads. Then, we use setInterval to call updateChart every 5 seconds. This means the chart automatically refreshes and reanimates with new data at regular intervals. In summary, this code creates a dynamic, animated chart that updates itself automatically over time. Now let's look at how we make the SVG bars interactive using hover effects. First, we listen for the mouse over event on the entire document. This event triggers whenever the mouse moves over any element. Inside the event handler, we check if the element under the mouse is an SVG rectangle by using e.target.tagname == rect. This ensures only the bars react to hovering. If the mouse is over a bar, we use GSAP.to to animate it. The animation changes the scale property to 1.1, which makes the bar slightly taller. The transform origin is set to center bottom, so the bar grows upward from the bottom, not from the middle. The animation duration is 0.2 seconds, creating a smooth effect. Next, we listen for the mouse out event. This triggers when the mouse leaves a bar. Again, we check if the element is a rectangle, and then use GSAP.to to reset the scale back to 1, returning the bar to its original height. The duration remains 0.2 seconds, ensuring the transition looks smooth and natural. In short, these two event listeners make your SVG bars react to mouse hover with a subtle growth effect, adding a polished and interactive feel to the chart. Simple interactions like hover effects improve clarity and user engagement. Section 8. Best Practices. When building dynamic visualizations, animate only what changes. Keep SVG structure simple. Avoid unnecessary re-rendering. Optimize API calls. These practices ensure smooth performance and scalability. You've now learned how to combine SVG, GSAP, and live API data to build dynamic, real-time visualizations. This approach helps transform raw data into clear, engaging visual stories that users can understand instantly. Practice this technique with different data sources and gradually move toward more advanced dashboards. If this tutorial helped you, please like the video, it supports the channel, and subscribe to @ThiteMaster1 for more professional tutorials on SVG animations, JavaScript, real-time data visualization, and AI-powered web development. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.